Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Big City Greens Season 3 Episode 18, and this first half is called Honey Heist and the second half is called A Dog for Mayor, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, okay. And I just kind of want to get straight to the point. And yeah, I know I really wanted to do this episode yesterday. It was just things just started piling up. And long story short, because it's kind of a long story. Long story short, just wasn't able. I wasn't able to get it done because I wanted to rewatch the episode yesterday. That was like the main thing I wanted to do, including the other tasks like I had to do. um I think I mentioned it a couple times before, but the miraculously looking cat noir movie. Don't worry, I'm not trying to react to the trailer again for like the fourth time. I'm giving up. I'm not trying to do that again. But I was actually trying to look for when it was actually going to be playing in theaters. I know that the film is also going to be premiering in Netflix, and I can't wait to watch it then. It's going to be, I bet it's going to be great. But I also would have loved to see it at the big screen, but it only plays like where I live in, like, in the United States, only a one day, and that was yesterday. So that's why I kind of took like a big chunk of the day trying to, along with a couple of days before that, trying to look for like where the theater is in the state I'm in. Like, and it was like in a weird theater name. I don't know, and it was kind of stressful, but anyway, it's fine. But yeah, and also the software I use for editing my videos, I had to go through like an update. That didn't take too long, but I definitely wanted to get that done and make sure everything is like working properly and stuff. And now actually today, before I had to start this review, which is really weird, where I get the content from, obviously see it from up there. When I was looking through the different playlists, the Big City Greens one is missing apparently. And again, before you guys start like assuming, I'm not trying to say anything like Disney's bad or anything, like because I know there's like a strike or something going on. Again, I don't want to talk about it, but or whatever's going on, I don't know. But again, that doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just like 2 days ago it was there, and now today it's not there. Like, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know why it's like disappeared. The videos are obviously still there, but like the playlist itself, it's gone. Because I looked through it like twice, through every playlist, to make sure I looked through all of them. Maybe third time's the charm. Maybe I need to go through it again. Who knows? But yeah, that was weird. I was just missing. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so that's like the long story short. And yes, this episode, my review is coming out earlier than usual. Is because um it's because I didn't get a chance to do episode 18 yesterday. I'm doing it today. I am deciding, and again, like if something changes, I'll either do a community post or I'll like do like another video, like after episode 18. But obviously there's two more episodes, episode 19 and episode 20. I was hoping to do episode 19 today, and I was hoping to do episode 19 like earlier in the day, like what I'm doing now, and do episode 20 later in the day, but set that to premiere for Sunday. Because what's happening actually is um sorry, I'm a little bit tired. My sleep schedule is a little bit out of whack, but don't worry, I have enough energy to get these videos done. Like, don't worry. But sorry to just get my thoughts together. Oh yeah, right. I'm going to Universal Studios. Yay! And sorry for my lack of enthusiasm, but I am really excited because I haven't gone to Universal in years. Islands of Adventure Studios, like, I just haven't gone in a long time, so I can't wait to go back. And I'm actually, while I'm there, I'm not sure about Sunday in particular, but that's gonna be like the first time going back like in like a while, so I might just stick to that day, just being just pure, like fun. And of course, I'm gonna have fun both days. But what I'm gonna try to do for Monday is for any like new rides that I'm gonna go on for the first time. I think what I'm gonna do is like take a picture of like the exterior of the ride, maybe with a picture with me like standing next to it, maybe. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty fun. And say, hey, this is my first time ever riding it, because there are certain rides in Alice Adventure that will be my first time riding it, but there's also what was it called? Ripsaw Falls and the Dudley Do Ride's Ripsaw Falls. I'm hoping to do that one. Hopefully, it's not like too long of a line, but I don't know, might be. Who knows? But if I do get a chance to ride that, that'll be actually be a second time for me, like in all time. I only went on the ride once, so yeah. Oh, but anyway, besides that, so yeah, that's basically my plan today is to do episode 18. Episode 19 and 20 is going to be a question mark for now, but like, I think the main plan is to do, most likely episode 19 is going to be Wednesday. Yeah, because I'm most likely coming back Tuesday, and I want Tuesday night to rest. Wednesday will be episode 19. Thursday will be 20. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday will be like what I want to see in Big City Green Season 4, because I definitely want to get that done. So yeah, that'll be Friday. And Saturday and Sunday will be The Ghost and Molly McKee. I think I do episode 1 and 2 and just go on from there. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let's get on with the episode. And before we head over to the the barn right here, let's see, where do we start? Oh right. Basically we have Alice, Nancy. Well, no, sorry, no, we have Nancy and Bill. And they're working through the honey. Obviously, they're wearing protective gear, and like the beekeeper outfits, so they don't get stung, and they're wearing protective gloves and stuff. And the bees are flying around, and they're kind of swarming a bit. They're not too agitated, but they're swarming a bit. They had the comb, like I'm not sure, it's like a sweeper, getting the honey out and stuff. And then he tasted it, and Bill's like, oh my god, it's so wonderful. And Alice like, oh hey, how's the honey, boy? And I don't like it when Bill goes too over the top. I don't know. It's just like not my type of thing. I don't think it's funny when it does that. But he's like, it's the most wonderful honey ever. And he's like on the floor crying. I'm like, oh my goodness, Bill. Even I was at every year. I'm like, dude, pull yourself together. It's just honey. I understand that even the kids say that it's like the best honey ever, and I bet it is. Don't cry over it. Like, no, don't do that. No. Anyway. Sorry. Let's see. So after Bill collects himself after crying like a baby, we have Cricket, Tilly, and Remy explaining to Remy like what this honey is. He's not like, oh, like why is Mr. Green and I forgot, what did Remy call him? Because I don't think Remy calls Nancy by Nancy. I think I think he did he, I know Remy has called Grandma Mrs. Green before. So is Nancy like Miss Green? Anyway, so basically, like Remy's talking about Bill and Nancy, like working really hard over there. Like, oh, is that honey like really that good? He's like, oh, it's like the best honey in the world. Like, oh, why don't you just get it from the store? It's like that's the store bought honey can like it can suck coconuts for all we care. Like seriously, like this honey is like the best type of honey. And how Tilly describes it, like, oh, Papa's honey is like stirred to perfection. Like you can't get any better honey. I wonder if we could get an episode like in season 4 maybe of like a honey competition or something. Maybe. Who knows? That'd be pretty fun. And I wish I could show it. The animation was so good, where they're like getting the honey down from the comb into this stir barrel, and when the honey's going down, you see the reflection of Tilly, Remy, and Cricket's faces and kind of warping through because the honey's kind of is a liquid and it's not like a like a flat surface. It kind of moves. And I really like that. And they're like, wow, you have like the big faces and stuff. And I actually really like that. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air, if you will. And it's we gotta get the honey, and they're trying to like, and Remy's like, oh, why don't you ask your dad if we can try some, just a little bit, because your dad seems kind of protective over that honey. But let's just ask. It's like Cricket's like you can ask him if you want, but like he's gonna say no. And because Cricket's impression of his dad, he's like, oh no, honey's our bestseller, and it's actually interesting that what was it called blackberries was their bestseller in big city, and honey is their bestseller in the country. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it's ever gonna mean anything later on. Who knows? But that's kind of interesting. Anyway, so then and basically explained to Remy like no, like the dad's gonna say no. It is the bestseller. He's not gonna let us try some. Like no, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna have to pull a honey heist. And basically it's like oh the only like three little kids and like your dad and your grandma seem really protective of the honey. What are we gonna do? Oh, don't we're gonna have an adult on our hands. Your mama's gonna help. And then Tilly, I actually kind of found this interesting. Tilly was kind of like Cricket, I'm not sure if you noticed, but mama's changed. And I was actually gonna take a point out for this. I'm like really Cricket, like a lot of the development that Nancy has had with becoming a better mom, it's because Cricket is so much like her. And that was one of the main reasons, not like the main reason, but one of the main reasons of why she wanted to change. So Cricket doesn't become like the bad, irresponsible version of her. And Cricket knows this, so I'm kind of like, oh, Cricket, did you forget? No. Cricket was in denial, and I do like this of how it kind of sets up like, oh, Cricket's just a dumb kid, like he doesn't understand what's happening. Like, no, Cricket was kind of in denial of like, no, like my mom's not changing, like she's gonna help us, everything's gonna be fine. Until he kind of recognizes like, no, she's changed, she's responsible now, like she's not gonna help out with us. And by saying this, Tilly isn't saying that I don't like my mom anymore or anything, like, or like her less. It's just that when it comes to shenanigans and such, mom is just isn't going to be a part of that anymore. And Tilly has accepted that, and she's just willing to like move on. And she's like yeah, this is how it is. Like I love my mom. She's great. She's funny, but when it comes to this stuff, she's not going to be into it anymore, and she's gonna be more of like a rule follower than a rule breaker. She's still gonna have like her fiery spirit, but it's changed, and then that's not a bad thing. And even Tilly doesn't even say it's a bad thing. She's just like she's changed, and that's all there is to it. And Tilly's just like right to the point. And I really like that. And obviously Cricket's like in denial, but it's kind of like an early stage of denial. It's like not too forced in your face, like how I'm explaining it. It's kind of gradual. And how you like and she's like oh don't worry, like she'll be fine. And then Til's like oh you guys in with the honey heist, and Remy's like yeah I'm with you bud. And Remy is okay, we're gonna have the meeting in the inside the farm. The whole thing's a farm, the barn house. And not barn house, it's just a barn. The house is the farmhouse, it's just a barn anyway. um yeah, sorry, before we got through the whole like the whole barn house thing. Sorry about that. What was I gonna say? Right. So Ram's like, I'm with you, bud. And Tilly's like, okay, I'm in. Baby, I'm like your ride and die, brother. Only if Mama's out, because Tilly's like, I just don't trust her with this. And Tilly's just gonna head over to the barn, and Cricket's like no, Cricket's kind of like well, what the Cricket's kind of lamenting to himself without Tilly and Remy around, where he's taking a look his mom, and she's working really hard on the farm, and I really like that. It shows how far she's come, and even though Craig's seeing her work hard, and Craig's noticing, but she's like, "Oh, don't worry, like mom, like you're not gonna let us down. You're not gonna let me down. Everything's gonna be fine." Like Tilly doesn't know what she's talking about, and then they head over to the farm. Oh, sorry, I've been talking for a long time. Okay. We had the plan, and so I like how Tilly puts the earpiece on Saxon, and it fell on the floor, but Tilly just picked it up for him, and it fell on the floor again. And I just love the shadowing. It looks really good. And Cricket's like, I just want to say that for this meeting, that thank you for Remy for providing these very expensive earpieces. Ooh. And Remy's like, oh, you're welcome. And so, okay, we have two guards, Dad and Grandma. And I even like how Tilly drew Mama, her Mama, her Nancy, and don't forget. And then I like how Cricket's like, right, okay. But oh, don't worry, she's gonna be guarding her trailer, so we don't have to worry. Sorry, no, she's gonna do chores around her trailer, so she's not gonna be a bother. Okay, first we need to deal with Dad. He is just gonna be on guard with the honey. And look how frightened Phoenix was. Like, jeez. And oh my gosh, this transition, this was so good. Cricket's like, oh, Grandma, she's not only does she has her eye on the honey and Dad, she has needle like reflexes, and she just killed a fly with a needle. Jeez. And even Remy's like, oh, that's intense. He's like, don't worry. This is where you come in, Remy. You're going to be the mole. And he's like, oh, there's someone undercover. And like, no, an actual mole. Even Remy freaks out. And he's like, oh, yeah, fooled you, huh? That's why this is going to fool Dad. It's actually an RC car, with, some with like a piece of string and some cotton and some paper and gloves. It's going to make it look like a real mole. And this is where you come in. You need to get Dad away from. So basically, he said that you had to get Dad away from the honey, basically. And even Bill's like, oh, like you won't ruin my garden. I even like how they show you kind of like a comic book, and I was showing the different scenes. It's pretty cool. And there's the honey, and then and Remy's like, oh, what about your grandma? Like, won't she get in the way? And he's like, oh no, they prepare for this. And I love this.
I'm gonna put Grandma down for a nap.
And I just love that. I love how she looks just so innocent, and even her code name is Tilly Bo Peep. I love that. Because she just looks totally adorable in this costume, and she's like, I'm gonna put Grandma down for a nap. I love it. And and this is basically the story of like the sheep. You count the sheep and you go to sleep, and and immediately when the sheep start jumping, he's like, what the heck is going on here? It's like, oh, who let the sheep out? How many sheep even are there? Because Alice just gets distracted, and she's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6, and Tilly's just like kind of like telling them to run around. Like, oh my goodness. Even Alice gets like to 22, and she even like dozes off. She forgets like what number she's at, and she's like 47, and and yeah, she just goes to sleep. And I love it. She gets her grandma kiss, and she's like, Tilly Bo Peep, put Grandma to sleep. I love it. And Cricket basically says, then I will get Dad's key, like his honeycomb key, and I'll unlock it, and I'll score some honey, and I'll lock it back up, and before anyone notices, before Dad gets back and before Grandma wakes up. I want to play this.
But what about the two-person lock? You can't do it by yourself. I have it under control. So don't worry about it. Ain't no two-person lock keeping out all Cricket.
Okay, sorry, I know that was a pretty long clip, but I kind of wanted to show that, Cricket just being in denial that, like, don't worry, like, Mom's gonna help. And I love Tilly's suspicion of how she's like, that's a two-person lock. You can't do it by yourself. Like, who are you gonna bring into this? Like, basically kind of signaling to Cricket, their sibling bond, saying, hey, Mom is the only one left on his farm. Unless you just got somewhere else out of nowhere that's gonna help you do this two-person lock, which there's a possibility, but Tilly just knows that it's gonna be Mama, and she's just gonna mess everything up. And I like how Cricket like just broke the branch that he was kind of using to conduct, just showing that he's just kind of losing his grip on things. And Tilly's just kind of suspicious, like, And I just want to leave it right there. And we basically get to the honey heist. Basically, first things first. Obviously, Remy has the RC car, distracts Bill, and he just runs after to kill that mole. He's like, "You won't infest my garden," and basically Bill like trips, and and Bill trips, but we see later in his pocket he doesn't have the keys anymore. Like, what happened? Because I was thinking it was that animation error, and do I have to take a point off? No, it's actually part of the story. So he no longer has his keys, but he keeps on running after that varmint. And we have Tilly doing her Tilly Bo Peep, putting Grandma to sleep. You just like she said of what she was planning to do. She gives Grandma a kiss. Like snuggles her with a blanket, and she says like, "Okay, Grandma's out." And we have Cricket going over to Nancy. I even like how many times Cricket said like, "Don't look at me." Where is it like, "Oh, Mom, is it? It's like, Shook, what are you doing down there?" It's, no, don't look at me. It just hear me out. It's okay. Hey, there's a honey heist going down, and I want you in because there's a two-person lock, and I need your help. And Nancy wanted to look at him again, and Chris like, don't look. Don't act suspicious. Excuse me. Right, and basically Nancy's kind of worried. It's like, oh, look, you're gonna get caught. Like, your grandma or your dad, like, he's gonna catch one of you guys. And it's like, oh, don't worry, with your help, it will be a piece of cake. Like, come on, like, just do a caper with us, just like the old days. And it's kind of things like, oh, I don't know, but, no, okay, let's do it. And so, oh, okay, and like, I wonder what's gonna go on. And basically, we have like, Cricket is getting so excited, and oh, and I'm so sorry. While that was kind of happening, he was kind of explaining that so before Cricket met up with Nancy, he explained that like, how did you get the key? And oh, I have my ways. And when Bill tripped, his keys fell out of his pocket, and Cricket just like while in the garbage can, grabbed Bill's keys and just rolled away. And there was a point where Cricket was kind of monologuing to himself, saying, "I'm gonna get Mama, and I'm gonna prove Tilly wrong." And then she's like, "Prove me wrong, huh?" And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He's like, "You're gonna get Mama involved, aren't you?" He's like, "Okay, yes, I know you said you wouldn't help if I do, but don't worry, she won't mess it up. I promise." And Tilly's like, "Okay, fine, but better promise she's not gonna mess this up, because I know she is, but better promise she is." And like, "Don't worry, she's her same old self. Like, don't worry about it." And obviously, Tilly's very worried, like, "Oh my goodness, we're bringing in like a bad scenario." And the same thing happens. So Cricket goes to get Nancy, and they're gonna do like the two-person lock, and they were about to get some honey, but Cricket's getting so excited, and Nancy's like, "Shh, Cricket, the bees, they're gonna sting you," and he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm just so excited," and then Cricket's like, "Mom, what were you looking at?" And then Nancy totally ratted Cricket out. She's like, "Bill, look, Cricket's trying to steal the honey. And I totally forgot about the storyline of how Remy was still trying to distract Bill by bringing Bill all the way with the RC car, bringing him all the way to the edge of the forest. Like, wow. And even Bill said, wow, I covered some distance. I just forgot to mention that part. It was kind of like in the middle of the episode. And I even like how Cricket said, oh, like, even Molly survived, right, Remy? And Remy's like, he completed his mission. He even sounded like that, like, very nervously. Like, because, yeah, Molly blew up, basically. Yeah, he completed his mission. Like, Bill's away from the honey, but obviously he came back. Nancy ratted him out, and then basically the bees you start attacking Cricket, and this pretty funny that Bill like controlled the bees. It's like that's enough bees. Like get back to your hive, and the bees just listen to him. That's pretty funny, and it's like, oh hey dad, and he's like, oh thank you for saving me from the bees, and then Bill's like, you're welcome, you're grounded, and aw. And I like how it's like, oh, what's all the oh, and then and basically Nancy's like, oh, Alice, you're awake. It's like, yeah. Oh, I heard all this ruckus and I found these two in the bushes looking all guilty as ever. Oh, is that so? Oh, like you better take them to the room. Oh, you're darn tootin'. And like even like Tilly was disappointed. Like I knew Mama would rat us out, and she's not afraid to say it because like Tilly knew it. She knew better. And let's see what happened next. There was even a point where I was kind of like confused. So it's like, when Nancy had her clipboard, it was like flat. But when Alice brought not Cricket, Remy and Tilly, they say, oh, found these two in the bushes looking guilty. You see that the paper is kind of folding over something. Like it's covering something. I'm like, is that an animation error? But it's actually good storytelling. I liked how they showed that, and we basically have Cricket, Remy, and Tilly. They're basically in the room, and how basically Cricket said, "Oh, Tilly, you were right." He said, "Yeah, I told you." And we have Nancy coming in. Oh, hey kids. You're so mad at me, and Cricket said, "Oh, get out, you traitor." He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're so low mad." And he said, "Oh, I could go, but you wouldn't get this honey." And he said, "Where'd you get that?" And he's like, "Oh, like it was all part of my master plan." I'm glad that Nancy's still a bit of a schemer. She's still helping out on the farm. She's becoming a better mom and a better, more responsible person more throughout. But that doesn't mean that pure, mischievous hasn't completely gone away. Because sometimes you can't go away, and sometimes that isn't exactly a bad thing, Because Nancy has been improving, and that needs to be taken account for. And basically, it's like, I'm going to explain how real happened. Like, Cricket, you were about to blow our cover by shouting all that nonsense. And, when Bill friendly escaped from, Molly and stuff, he was about to catch us both. So I had two options: go down with Cricket or expose Cricket. And so I can get away with some of the honey. And then that's what she chose. Like, yeah, she totally bailed on Cricket. Like, saying, oh, Bill was the Cricket's trying to steal the honey. And Bill's like, what? And he just comes storming after Cricket. And that's when the whole bees incident happened. And when Bill was trying to calm down the bees to get back to the hive, Nancy took a bit of the comb of honey, put it under underneath the paper on top of the clipboard, and that's why there's like a big, like kind of like a hump over it. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I just held it for safekeeping. And then when Bill and Alice went to do their own thing, I stirred it. Yeah, I heated it and cooled it, and yep, I had the honey for you guys. Here you go. And obviously they had their own like honey stirs. Tilly and Remy just enjoyed some, and the Cricket just poured all over itself because, I guess honey is not the exact cure for bee stings, but it can like help. I think, but I don't think they would make something up like that in this show. But you can never be 100% sure, so who knows? So if you're planning on doing that, please grasp at straws like with the show, and what's actually like reality. I'm not, I'm not sure. Um. What happened next? Oh, right. And basically, the Cricket just poured all over himself, and he says, "Don't join the honey." He's like, "Oh, the most splendid thing ever." And Cricket even says like, Tilly even said that I have my doubts, and then Cricket said, "Yeah, you really had to go in there, Mama. You had to scared. Hey, what do you mean? It's all just like what Tilly's been saying, and what I've been kind of knew all along. Yeah, I just have been in denial about it. That you're becoming more responsible. You're helping out more on the farm. You're just not the fun mom anymore." And Nancy wants to sit down with Cricket, Tilly, even Remy. Hey, I'm always gonna be the fun mom. I don't want you to forget that. But yeah, but I need you guys to know something else. I have changed. I love being responsible and I love pitching in. I love taking care of you kids. I even love it out in the country. I thought I was just a city girl, and you kind of coming to the country would be kind of silly. But I know that's what your dad and that's what what your grandma wanted to kind of get some country roots in me, kind of. And when I first started, I just didn't like. But now, actually, me being back out of jail, I was even with the big city with you guys. But now you guys out in the country, now I'm back here. It's such a breath of fresh air. I'm really enjoying it. And they're kind of like, oh wow, I actually didn't know that because they never really talked about this stuff because maybe they didn't really think they needed to. But I'm really glad they had this conversation. And she's explaining that I love it here in the country. I love taking care of your kids. I love being more responsible. Pitching, yeah, sure, it's hard work, and you can see her carrying some like heavy bags on her back and on sorry, I'm not sure what's going on back there. I don't know, but we see her carrying heavy loads of like fertilizer and chicken feed and stuff like that. And yet she's sweating. She's putting into work. I love it. Dedication. That's what I really want for Nancy's character. And Big City Greens as a whole, Nancy is the best character development for me and best character arcs. I love it. She's my favorite. My favorite adult character is Nancy. I love it. And yeah, and it's like, oh, but don't worry, like I'm always gonna be like your mischievous mom. Like don't worry, I always have like a plan, but but what plan it is like definite is I'm not gonna run out of you guys. And the next time I want to plan something like to solve like an injustice, I am gonna put the family and the well being of the family well first. Because she didn't last time. When she, even though Tilly said that I'm glad she freed the Derrick house, in Nancy's mind, I wasn't thinking about my family, and Nancy got locked up. And her kid wasn't able to spend quality time with her mom for who knows how long. They didn't really explain how long she was in jail, but I'm thinking like a year? Like 2 years? What was that how long she was in jail for? Again, it was like, it wasn't definite of how long she was in jail for. Like, who knows? But yeah, Nancy made a selfish decision to solve an injustice, yes, and that is very noble of her. But so that's why she's saying like when another injustice comes, I'm gonna be thinking the well-being of the family first. I love that. Thank you. The match makes me feel a bit better about that. Um, and Remy is like a B joke, and it kind of waited a little longer, and then they just like laugh super hard, and that's the end of the episode. I took a point off of there too, but 90%. This was a fantastic episode. I love the honey heist. I love honey in particular. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's really good. Especially like how like it's came from like the bees and stuff. It does how like the farm process worked. Unlike the bee movie, it showed like all like the farmers and corporations are evil and stuff. But this is all like organic and stuff. And it seems like Bill isn't using smoking guns or anything. He's just commanding the bees like this is how the honey works, and like stop stinging my son and just get back to work, and that's it. Like and yeah, so comments below. What did you think of this episode? What do you think about Nancy's character growth and her changing? Could you think there'd be any other possibility of Nancy going back to jail? I don't think there is because she's changing so much, and I love it. I would hate that she would have to go back to jail. But yeah. Yep. So everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you guys later today for the review of the second half of episode 18 of Big City Green season 3, and it's called A Dog for Mayor. And yeah, and there isn't a clip for that one. So yeah, I'll see you guys later today for that. All right, bye.